Guess what? Today we got a very special guest. We're gonna do the Iron Dojo theme song real quick, and then we're gonna bring her in.
Black Mozart. Yeah. FC Iron Dojo. OB. Welcome to the dojo. You know just how we kick it. All about the people, yes sir. Can I get a witness? We gon' talk about them numbers, teach you about good fitness. FC Iron Dojo. You know just how we get it. FC Iron Dojo. Yeah. FC Iron Dojo. Okay. FC Iron Dojo. FC Iron Dojo. Yeah.
All right. So check it out. Ladies and gentlemen, I have for you, it's a pleasure to introduce the multi-talented individual who wears many hats by day and night. She is a professional photographer as well as a thriving content creator. She's known for her popularity on Twitter and her love for robes. She's actually a robe connoisseur. Books, wrestling, and comic books. Watch out, because she has a lot more exciting projects on the horizon. It is my privilege to bring to you on the show today, Miss Starr Devereauxx.
Hello.
What's going on? What's going on today?
It's a beautiful day.
It's a beautiful day. Of course. So check this out. First and foremost, I got to say thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am. So first and foremost, I always ask all my guests, how are you doing? That's the biggest question.
I'm doing great today.
Because a lot of people don't ask that. They don't ask how we doing.
Thank you for asking. I'm doing great today.
Okay. So tell my audience, you don't have to say specifics exactly where you're from, but are you from the East, the West, the North, the South? Which one? Oh, you throwing up the dubs. Okay. You're from the West. You're from the West Coast. Okay. I get it. I got some family over there on the West. They from Carson.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So yeah. So tell us a little bit about your origin story. You don't have to go back to when you was born. Just tell us, where you came from and something you want us to know.
My villain origin story or just my origin story? I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Either or. Whatever you want to tell the audience.
My origin story, I would pretty much just say that I'm a girl from the West Coast that was, pretty, I would say, popular in a weird way throughout school, and I just was always still outgoing, and I just found my creative bug early and capitalized on it as much as possible. And I like helping people. I'm into a lot of different parts of entertainment, and I just, I'm a vibe.
Okay. So I notice a lot of content creators, they always push not being a 9-to-5 person, time freedom. So you do have a day job, right?
I do.
Okay. So just how does that work with, your day job and what you do on I wouldn't say the side, I would say the rest of your activities, like, content creation? Does the regular day job actually interfere with your content creation?
Actually, what I like about my 9-to-5 as opposed to the content creating is that with content creation, inspiration can happen at any moment.
Okay.
So it's not a necessary set time for content. So it works better for that. Like everything is pretty much at your, own and, indulgence as far as time. So I don't, mess up time on either side.
Okay. So you got income coming from everywhere. You got a stable income, and then you have the content creation income.
Multiple streams.
So when did you actually pick up? I said you're a professional photographer. When you actually pick up the camera and decide this is what I want to do?
Now I've been doing photography just on the personal small scale, but I went into professionally just going forward with it right before COVID hit.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So COVID didn't get you into it. You kind of started you started honing that skill before COVID. And then when COVID happened, it kind of sat you down and was like, you know what? Let me do some more research and hone this craft that I got.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. I tell you, I picked up a camera when I think it was 2017, and I put it back down.
Oh, why?
Because I thought, cameras would just point and click and shoot, but it's a whole different facet. That is a science. That's a whole science. And I
really
started
is.
looking at the 15:6 ratios, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna put that down. Yeah, it's time to put
You
that
have
down.
to.
But
You have to want to do it. It's
oh
one of
yeah.
those situations.
So what are some goals that you're actually pursuing right now?
One of my biggest goals is getting my book out in November.
Okay. What type of book is this? Because I follow you because you're a very avid Star Wars lover, a WWE lover, wrestling lover. So what type of book is this?
This is actually an inspirational book. Every
Okay.
morning on Twitter, I start off my mornings with an inspirational feel to get people started. And,
Mm,
it's sort of like me sharing my story as well as being inspirational. And it's definitely going to touch on mental health matters and different things like that. And I think a lot of people think that they're alone in certain things.
yes.
And I feel that this book will let you know a lot of the things you think you're alone in
Mm.
is actually quite common.
Yeah, you know what I always hear every morning when I run, I listen to I don't say he's a content creator, but he's a motivational speaker, David Goggins. I don't know if you're too familiar with
Yes.
him. So
Oh,
he
yeah.
says, you ever heard the saying that somebody says, nobody understands my pain, but he
Hmm.
says you can throw a rock and you would hit somebody who's going through the same thing you are, but
Hmm.
they just don't want to say what they're going through, so you'll never know. So that's what I learned about mental health and things of that nature. So you want to be influential to everybody else, which is pretty good. I watch and follow your posts every morning. But who influences you? That's my question.
You know what, I've been asked that question a lot and I
Mm-hmm.
never have a good answer for that.
Mm.
I'm influenced by life and plenty of people. um my experiences influence me.
Okay.
I've seen and done so much in just a short amount of time
Mm-hmm.
that my care and love for life influences me. But if I had to give it to a person
Mm-hmm.
who influences me, it's my dad.
Oh, hey, old school Arsenio. Who. Shout out to the dads out there. But so that's the biggest thing. Because my dad was big influence on me and things I do. Rest in peace. Um,
Bless him.
so and
Condolences.
people and I always wonder about this, and this one reason why I like to bring people, successful people on. I'm not gonna say we the middle class. I'm just saying successful people that we can relate to. All right.
Right.
So everybody always asks the millionaires, "Oh, what's your morning routine like? How you successful? This and that." I want to ask you, as a successful person in life, what's your morning routine like?
Oh, my morning routine is very to the letter. I
Uh, what time do you get up? That's the question first. What time you get up?
normally I
Mm-hmm.
get up at 4:30 every morning.
Oh, okay. So you get up, you get the worm. The early birds get the worm. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
I like to be, if I have errands to run and things to do, I like
Mm-hmm.
to have everything done at least before 1 o'clock because
Oh,
that's when everybody else is out here by
and you
by
and you know
themselves.
what I noticed too? A lot of times 4:30. Well, not a lot of times, all the time. 4:30 is peaceful.
Oh,
Nobody's
much
up,
peaceful,
and
much
you
so much
can kind
peace.
of get a lot of your thoughts together at 4:30 in the morning.
Yes.
So I know some, and then tell my listeners, because I always preach about getting up early, and I preach that it's hard. It's not easy to get up every day at 4:30. So can you tell us about, is it easy or is it hard for you every
For
morning?
me,
Mm-hmm.
it's easy. And
Mm-hmm.
but I will say for those who find it hard is
Mm-hmm.
that if you want to hear yourself and hear your inner thoughts and hear what you need to hear, those are
Yes.
the times to wake up. Wake up before everybody else do. Because by the
Yes.
time they get up, they're gonna ruin whatever you got going. See, they're scrambling while you're already at
Exactly.
peace.
You know what's crazy? Of course, I mentioned that I was, a lot of my listeners know I was, retired. I'm retired military now, but it was funny that you say that because our physical training starts at 6:30. But if I'm up at 4:30, 5 o'clock, I've already worked out before the actual workout. So I'm energized and ready to go. I get
Right.
there, they're just rolling out of bed, getting there at 6:30. Why are you so happy in the morning? I'm like, bro, I've been up 2 hours. I'm already good. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they upset and mad. So um I'm a go in the left field with this one. If you had a superpower, which superpower would it be?
You know what? I used to say I always wanted to be the one that knew how to fly.
Mm-hmm.
But if I really could, I would love to be in multiple places at once.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's a good one. That's a good one. The last guest I had said that they would want to go back into time,
Mm-mm.
and talk to the younger them, and tell them.
I don't mess with time.
Yeah.
Dr. Strange has told us what happens when we do that.
Hey, you got a point there, because hey, you see what happened in the when Doctor Strange start messing with time. You start screwing up stuff that should have been there and there for you to learn the lesson. Now it's gone, and you ain't gonna learn that lesson. Yeah,
exactly. It'll change the very fabric of who you are. So I'm not messing with time.
So what do you think about the do you have a crew that you roll with, like when it comes to photographer, or you just kind of solo dolo?
Most of the times I'm solo dolo.
Okay.
I do have a partner that rolls with me for most times, but it's most times it's me.
Okay. So, but I'm gonna still ask you this anyway. What's the have you ever heard the phrase you're the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with?
Yes.
All right, what do you think about that phrase?
I think that it's pretty factual. If you're sitting in a room full of losers, and guess who else is one?
Yeah. Hey, true. You know what's crazy? Yeah, you're right. Because I heard it saying this was, I don't know if you too familiar with the rapper Zero. He says he says if you hang around dope fiends, you bound to become one. You hang around murderers, you bound to become one. So that makes sense. So I try to keep my circle small, and everybody's like, man, the more people you can get out there, but sometimes it's best to keep that circle small.
Yes.
Or roll solo dolo sometimes. But so before we get into the facet of everything, what does mental health mean to you? Because I know you mentioned something about people reaching out and being motivation to people who need that help.
It's very important to me. But it always has been, even before this craze that's happening with mental health, and some people trying to capitalize on it as opposed to actually solving what's going on.
Okay.
I'm a big advocate for therapy. Mental health for me is clarity. You can't plan if you're not ready.
Yeah, true. So do you smoke weed?
Am I supposed to talk about that?
I'm asking because the reason I say that, because I'm about to retire, and I told my cousin this morning, it's been 24 years since I smoked. So I'm trying to get some the reason I say that, because they pump, being in the military, we have certain ailments like anxiety, depression, and just the pharmaceutical companies in general. Here, take this med, take this med, take this med. But if you notice that a lot of soldiers were on Capitol Hill trying to fight for us to smoke. Yeah. And so I already said I'm smoking when I get out. I might have to move to the West Coast or whatever the case may be. I'm just trying not to take no more pills. I'm gonna just be real with my audience. You know what I'm saying? That. Because it's been countless nights where I go through anxiety and depression, which is real. It's a real thing. I didn't think it was real till I got it. I used to think people were faking. Like, man, stop all that faking. But it's real. So that's why I asked, because you seem like more of the hippie type, So I just wanted to know if you smoke. That's all,
I dabble in the arts.
Yeah, well, definitely have to make sure I get some advice for somebody who hasn't smoked in 24 years.
Later on, the best way to go.
Huh?
Indica is the best way to go.
Okay, yeah. I was talking to my cousin earlier. It said something about red something. Hold on, I can tell you right now. Talking about it was she said it was the best way to go. Let me see where is it? See if I can find it. And she even sent me the Google message to research. It was pink runts or something like that. Pink runts.
Okay.
Said, but I researched that. It said it actually calmed your anxiety and depression. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to. I said, but I don't need nothing too strong because it's been a while. You know what I'm saying? But let's move on. So we talked about the mental health thing. So your brand, for all my young entrepreneurs and the older entrepreneurs, you are very popular on Twitter. You have a big following. So how hard was it to get your brand out there? Like this didn't happen overnight to get your brand out there.
Far from it.
So when you first started to get your brand out, was it like tell me, how did it feel? Like, was it depressing? Was it like, I'm gonna quit?
I think that every creator goes through that at some point. It's never going to be just high all the time. There's slumps. You get followers, you lose them. There's always, it's an ever-changing thing. For me with the branding, I just play it fast and loose. I have a good time with it. Because I love to create. So therefore, if you're doing it for the followers, then you're not doing it for the right reason. And so it's going to be hard to keep up if you're just doing it for the people. Do it because you like to do it.
And I think a lot of people who try to content create, they just think too much into it. That's what I think too. And, because for a minute there, I was like, with the podcast, I was researching, and then somebody just said, man, just do it. Just do it, man. And then just worry about the rest later. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? I said, because you're gonna have people who don't like what you're talking about, people who do like what you're talking about. You can't please everybody. So that's what I looked at. So like when you first started on, because I really just got into Twitter like a year ago. But what made you get on Twitter versus like Facebook? Because I hear Facebook is for the old heads now. And I'm just, because I can tell you, Facebook is boring.
It is. It is.
And Twitter, IG for the scammers, look like.
it is. I've actually been on Twitter for quite some time, and I always kept it to a minimum. But what made me just start staying on? Well, first off, I laugh a lot on Twitter.
Oh yeah, I do too now.
The comments are where it's at.
Yeah.
So I just started becoming more active, and so while doing my brand in real life, like with other things that I got going, I said, let me start getting more active on Twitter. And then once I started doing that, and then I started meeting people and, networking. And then before you knew it, I looked at my followers and said, when did this happen? That's literally how each time happened. 10,000. Oh, what? Like,
okay.
Yeah.
So my question is, what made you, with that, because I remember I asked you a question about, I told you about somebody who was looking for more revenue and they was hurting for jobs and thinking about doing the OnlyFans thing. But you gave me some good advice to tell that person, build your brand first. That was a good thing. You just don't want to be out there just, I'm gonna start, I need the money. And I think, like you said, if you in it for right now without, just the money up top, it kind of is going to go slow, and you're probably going to do it for the wrong reasons, but what made you switch over, to the OnlyFans content creation?
I think that what pushed it was that I was taking, I do photography. So a lot of my pictures that I take of my own stuff, I use myself for my advertising for my personal photography.
Which is smart.
Yeah. So, I started doing a little bit of modeling for myself, and then, it turned into, ooh, you cute, this, that, that. I was like, I can be. And then, of course, and then all of a sudden my inbox basically started just going, so where's the OF at? Where's the OF at? I said, I don't have one. Okay. I don't have one. And then all of a sudden, once I started it, it just
took off. Yeah. I mean, sometimes, but you know what? People don't see that you didn't just, like, you just started the OnlyFans, but you had been content creating well before then.
Well before.
Like you just not going to, get a few comments and be like, oh, let me start one. And then it blew up. So actually, when you started it, did it take off, or?
It grew gradually.
Okay.
It grew gradually.
Oh, that's good.
I enjoy it. It you just gotta have a love to want to do that, because other than that, you're gonna have stage fright every time you pull a camera out. It's just
yeah, that's what's up. So we definitely we don't talk about the actual revenue that people bringing in, but I'm gonna ask, is it lucrative for your lifestyle?
Yes.
Okay.
Very much so. It is for me, because it's I won't even lie to you. It opened the avenue for other things only than OnlyFans.
Okay.
And so you'll find other content creators that you'll talk to. And, some are cool, some are not. But they'll lead you to other things that you didn't know that you could get into. And then it's very lucrative if you keep it up.
So what new, what's on the horizon for Miss Starr?
Life's more abundantly.
Yeah. I mean, because you mentioned these open doors. So what's new? What's coming up in the future for you?
I've been asked to work on a lot of different projects with other people. I do game. So I've been asked to do some stuff gaming wise.
Okay.
I've done a couple podcasts before this, and
Okay.
I've been asked to do some more, and I'm excited about that. And
Hey, 2023 gonna be your year.
hey, it's
I
starting
might see
off
you on
real
I might see you on a BT or Netflix movie or something. You know what I'm saying?
nice. Hey, you
Hey,
never know. I don't say
what
no.
console you got?
I have a PS5.
You know, I should click off this interview right now. I'm an Xbox guy.
I have one of those too. Well, here's the thing. I have a PlayStation. I have an Xbox. I have a Nintendo Switch. I have the old school Nintendo. I have a Super
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo. I have
Oh, yeah, you a super gamer, yeah. You know,
yeah.
you
I
like
have all my stuff.
look. I have my homeboy in Houston right now who he sent me a message and he had the Nintendo the Nintendo Tecmo Bowl
Yes,
on the wall with the projector and was like, "You ain't ready." And I was like, "Man, this Joker still got the Nintendo going on." You know what I'm saying?
I still have mine. We could
Hey,
play Punch
so
Out anytime.
when it comes to business and like the model that you have, the business model you have, do you have any like favorite business, personnel that you follow that you like? Hey, I want to be like this person in business.
Ooh, that's a very good question. I'll be honest with you. There's so many that I do follow. Business wise though, I've yet to find someone that I actually love their business model to the point where I would follow it to the letter. So I'm still discovering that.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's good. That's pretty dope. So, if my mind just slipped. All right. So here's a good one. What's your favorite quote?
Ooh, that would require cursing. One of my favorite
Hey,
quotes.
go ahead. Hey, do your thing now. I said this ain't a child's show. You know, we grown ups now.
One of my mom's favorite quotes, and she had two. One of
Uh-huh.
my mom's favorite quotes to me was always never let your left hand know what your right hand is doing.
True. True. Okay.
And one of my other ones that she always would say to me and my brothers was, "Fuck them where you find them, leave them
Yeah.
where you fuck them."
Yeah. You know what? I've heard that. I've heard that.
My
All
mom
right.
would always say that.
So check it out. We about to get into the juiciness, and Hey, look. I hope you brought your A game. You know what I'm saying?
Hell.
So here we go. We gonna let me go ahead and show this screen real quick. Let me see where we at. All right. Here we go. Can you see that screen?
Oh hell yeah.
Okay. So which superstar entrance music contains the lyrics "They broke the mold when they made me"?
Mr. Perfect.
Let's see. Is she right?
Oh, it's Dolph Ziggler.
Hey, look. A good thing we ain't gambling right now. All right, here we go.
Oh.
Which is the following championship has John Cena never held? Which one has he never held?
I want to say he's never held the tag team.
All right, let's see. But which one though? We going for C or we going for D?
I would say D.
Here we go. For the marbles. Hey, look, you know what? Don't make me put you on blast on Twitter now. You know,
I am ashamed. I should know this.
The Edge and Christian's famous 5-second poses were, according to them, for the benefit of those with.
Oh my God, these questions.
They right at the tip of your tongue, ain't it?
It's right there. Oh my God. For those to the benefit of. Oh, I don't know why I want to say either short attention spans or cheap seats.
Oh, let's see. Flash photography. All right, and then one more. We got two more. We got true or false. At 25 years, 1 month, 13 days old. I can't even say that word.
Yokozuna.
Yeah, became the youngest WWE World Champion, WWE World Champion, Heavyweight Champion. True or false?
Ooh. Did he ever hold the belt?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember if he held the belt or not.
I was about to say that's what I was gonna say. Did he ever belt? I'm gonna have to go with false.
We're gonna give you that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
It belongs to Brock Lesnar.
That pit bull.
Yeah. Hey, last one. Which former member of the Shield is the only one to have held the Intercontinental Championship?
Roman Reigns.
All right, here we go.
Dean Ambrose.
We gonna
You're right. Intercontinental.
See, you
Intercontinental.
know what?
It's those words.
I think we just went too fast. You want one more for the bonus?
I'll try it.
All right, here we go. Which superstar was the first to hold the Divas Championship in 2008?
Mickey James.
All right, here we go.
No!
Oh man, this is a good one. That was a good one. You know, I'm gonna give you this so you can go ahead on and
I need to go. I need to get back to it.
Yeah. I should have gave you some Star Wars ones. That's what I should have.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? And see, the thing is with wrestling, I'm so into the storyline of what's happening right now with Sammy and all this.
I should have gave you some new ones. But also make sure you guys, I know if I just posted up, make sure if you know who House of Devereaux is, or Miss Starr Devereaux, her Cash App is at the bottom. Make sure you please like and subscribe the YouTube interview. And also her links are posted right here. Let me see. Here we go. allmylinks.com//Starr Devereaux. All right. So if you had the attention of the world for 5 minutes, just for 5 minutes, it could be on a billboard, a blimp, or the Super Bowl commercial for 5 minutes, what would you tell the world?
What would I tell the world? We're not getting nowhere with all this fighting and disagreeing. For can we just come together right now?
Thank you.
We doing too much, everybody.
Thank you.
We doing too much.
We doing entirely too much.
Too much.
So I like that quote. I like that that answer right there. So as far as tell the people what's your favorite show.
Oh, that's hard. Right now, I'm watching. Well, I'm real deep into my little telenovela because I do watch TV in different languages.
Oh, okay.
So I'm in a telenovela right now, El Rey, the story of Vicente Fernandez.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, don't judge me. But I have to say, I am waiting on, of course, The Mandalorian to come back.
Okay. Yeah.
So that I'm waiting on. But
so what's the I want to know from your point of view, what is like the worst thing you've had to deal with? That's what I'm trying to ask. What is like the worst thing when it comes to content creation in your work, your line of OnlyFans creation that you've had to deal with?
Oh, that's easy. The demand. They're never satisfied. They're never
that's
satisfied.
Human. I think that's humans in general, right? We just never we get something new. I don't, you know what? That's like a kid on Christmas. They get all these toys, and then the next day they're playing with the old toys, or they want something new.
Or even worse, they're not playing with the toys at all. They're playing with the box.
Thanks. So, like, but how do you distinguish when it's like, okay, enough is enough, I'm out, because a lot of people, they don't have that line drawn, and they just, I got to make the money, and then they go, I don't know how they live with themselves type thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that's the part, is that when one person has gone that far for you, you expect for everyone to go that far for you.
True.
And for me, there's just some things I'm not going to do. I'm not going to give a list of what it is and what I'm not, and I'm not going to explain myself to you either. And I don't feel that I have to. Like, either you be here and enjoy what's here, or don't. Either way, I'm still going to do what I do. I enjoy what I do. So that's what it is. But I think it's also a misconception of a plus size content creator, that they come in thinking, oh, well, you need, like, that's the thing. It's the you need thing. And it's not that. I'm providing something. I hope you like it. If you do, great. If you don't.
And so do you get a lot of flack for it because you are a plus size woman? And so from men, do you actually, or women, whoever the case is, do they actually, feel like, I guess, you shouldn't have a sense, what's the word? You shouldn't have a sense like, hey, I'm somebody type, attitude. You should do this because you're a big person and you're not going to get love nowhere else.
Yes. And they really feel that. And that's the part that's so sad, because love is not a problem for me. So.
And that's crazy. Not. But it's crazy that because I'm paying, you should do what I say. And it doesn't matter. Like, but you can't, and in some senses that might work for some people in some stores. Like, if you're paying at a restaurant, like, you should get what you want. But that's kind of not the same thing when it comes to OnlyFans creations. Am I right?
And very much so. My thing is that there's a market. What I like about it is there's a market for everyone.
Yeah.
You came here because you saw something you liked.
Yeah.
And I can provide that for you, but I'm not going to go and overexert myself because you asked. And threatening me with not following me, that's not a threat.
So
It's
do you do live shows or it's just all content creation you posted?
I've done some live shows before, but I don't make that a
You have.
practice all the
Yeah.
time because
Yeah.
I'm not going to stay on the line for a whole 2 to 3 hours like most people would like.
You know what's
Um,
crazy too is that I think it was on Vice a couple years, maybe a few years ago when this thing popped off. Some of these content creators literally don't have a life.
no,
They
and I
stay
did.
on there all day. It's
I
like you
can't.
cannot be serious right now.
I can't. And they'll and the part is that it's just like with a 9 to 5 job. How much work are you going to do, and is your time worth what you're doing it for?
Exactly.
Um, a lot of people are willing to do a whole lot for nothing, and
Or
I've
coins.
even been told my subscription price is too low. I've been told that for what I offer, and I'm
Okay.
like, well,
So
maybe you're right.
what's your subscription for your OnlyFans?
$7
Is that like a week, a month,
a
or
month.
a month? And so, what made you come up with that price of $7? That's like an odd price because
It is.
most people they come up with like 9.97, 20.97, one of those odd numbers. But what made you come up with 7? I know 7 is a powerful number though.
Exactly, and that's why I use that. And the reason why I only offer 7 now is it for me. It was more so a test when I first started. I said I'm gonna start at 7 because I know that I give good content and I put a lot of thought into it. And
Mm-hmm.
so, of course, I've been asked, but I only offer a certain amount of time, and I don't do in purchase stuff on my.
Oh, okay.
I don't
Okay.
do in purchase, so you don't have to buy anything once you get there.
Okay.
And
Makes sense.
I'm gonna start doing that if that's the case, because I
Yeah.
hear it's always these requests. We want longer videos. We want this and that. Oh, you want a movie production? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you
Well,
let
you're
me
gonna
go
have to
get
pay for that.
Steven Spielberg real quick because you want some long stuff. You
They
want the
do.
real deal.
They
Okay.
do.
You
And
know that costs, you know what
and
I'm saying, for that type of content creation. You know what I'm saying? Because I promise you, the little editing that I do for this stuff is nowhere near what you guys do. And I'm like, I be wanting to charge myself for, for putting out these videos. You know
I'm
what I'm saying?
telling you.
So what made you get into the robe connoisseur? Like you just was like, I like robes. Let me get some robes.
Now let me tell you now, one of my number one people in wrestling has always been Ric Flair now.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, okay.
I love me some Ric Flair. And I've always loved it. I've always, liked, how do I say this? I'm anti-clothes in my house.
Mm,
So the
yeah.
robe is the best thing, like when the door rings or
Oh, okay.
something like that, or if I have to hurry up and take a Zoom call, I'll throw a robe on real fast.
Yeah. So yeah, my dad always used to say, never be naked in the house in case a fire starts. But I guess you got that covered because you just grab a robe. If the house is on fire, you just grab a robe and then take off, so you're not running
Yes.
out butt ass naked. You know that.
Yes.
But yeah, you got it covered then. So is there when it comes to content creation on OnlyFans, what are some advice you can give? Say you have a young person or that's over 18, that says, "Hey, I like what you're doing. I follow you. Should I do what you're doing?"
Um, I'll never tell a person, especially if I know you have more talent than just that. But if
Mm-hmm.
it's something that you really want to get into and that's something that you really want to do, my number one advice to you is to have have a feeling to want to do that. Please don't do it for money.
Yeah.
Don't do it for money.
Yeah.
You're gonna burn out real fast, and everybody's gonna get on your nerves,
Yeah.
and you're gonna get mad real quick if you're doing it for
Yeah.
money.
And you know what my dad used to say too? He used to say that what did he just say? He said, "Do it for the love. The money's gonna come."
It really is.
Yeah. So that's but as long as you love what you're doing that. But do you have what I was saying? Do you have like naysayers, not naysayers, but more of people who look at you funny when it comes to your friends or your family, or or it's kind of like that life is separate from your family, like they don't know.
Um, my life is pretty separate. If you know, you know. But what's
Yeah.
funny is that a lot of my fans, we went to
Hmm.
high school together.
Hey.
they they act like they act like they not on there, but they are. And it's
Of
funny,
course.
a lot of them are pretty supportive. I don't have anybody in my life really just anti, ooh, I can't believe you type thing.
Yeah. Well, that's
It's more
good.
instead of like, ooh, it's ooh.
Yeah, that's good because if you have the support there, and then especially if you love to do what you're doing, it's gonna make just life better when you have the support of others. And regardless of what anybody says, as long as your mental health is good and there. So explain what's in the background. That's why I called you a hippie earlier. So explain what's the whole vibe back there. You
Oh,
got
this
incense going or what?
I do.
What type of incense you got going?
Nag Chappa this morning.
Okay, I'm more of an old school. I guess because I grew up Catholic, and I don't want to put that in this interview, but I'm more of a frankincense and myrrh type of
And I
guy.
have that.
So I something about that smell that I'm just like I can't do nothing else but that. I might need to try and branch out and do something else.
Oh, I have my Palo Santo. I have frankincense. I have that. I have a lot of Nat Chap was just the one of the morning, but I actually have a whole box full of incense. So I do start my morning with that, a little bit of sage, and I meditate every morning. That is also a part of my my morning ritual. How I start my day.
So what's in the background? Explain to us.
This is just more so I use this during my meditations, and that's why I just leave it up.
Okay.
It's more of a calling and a calming to me. And most people call it sacred geometry patterns and things like that. For me, I saw it, it made me feel calm. I have another one that has the 7 chakras on it. Did I just say that right? I hope I said that right. But it has the sacred chakras on it, and I sit there and I love that one too, because I use that basically when I meditate. I put my mat out and do my thing.
So in 5 years, where do you see yourself?
I see myself retired.
Nice. Nice. Very financially free, of course, and stable and retired. Yes. In 5 years, that's pretty close. That's a short-term goal. So that's pretty good.
I have a plan. I have a plan. I hope that, not even I hope, I am pushing towards the mark.
That's what I was going to say. That's 2 things I always tell people who talk to me. Don't tell me you're trying, and don't tell me you hope. You tell me you doing. Like when I say, hey, did you work out? When you working out, you getting, man, I'm trying to get there. Don't tell me you trying, because if you got up to work out, you're actually doing. And don't hope for it. You talk it and bring it into your life. Pull it in if it's there. So we talked about the bad things about content creation. Just give me a few pros that you love about it.
This is actually a pro and a con. I do get noticed in the street.
Yeah, that's gonna be a double-edged sword.
That could be a double-edged sword. I do like meeting fans, but not at certain places. Like real quick story time. I went to my cousin's daughter's christening, and one of the guys was up there speaking, and me and him like kind of locked eyes, and I was like, oh. And then after church was over, he was like, "Hi, Miss Devereaux." I was like, "Hey, we're in."
Let's refrain real quick.
Let's do that outside.
Yeah. But did you shake his hand like this?
I was nice. I'm never mean to anyone if you're not showing me any harm.
Yeah, so that makes sense.
I'm a nice person, but as far as the pros of it, besides the financial gain that you could get when you do it right, it's another pro of it. You get to have fun, especially if you have a certain partner that you do work with. If everything is solo, then you're literally working for yourself. So there's no problem with that.
So also, I know you see this a lot with the, it might be from both sides, male and female, or whatever gender people call themselves nowadays. I don't get into that. My thing is, do you get advances like, I want to be your significant other, I want to marry you, I want to do you get a lot of that?
Every day.
Oh, okay. From both parties or all parties? I'm going to just say all parties.
I've had proposals from gay, straight, trans, all walks of life. All walks of life. And I'm not mean about none of it. I'm actually very flattered. So I'll be like, oh, really? Like, I tell people all the time, you don't want to be in a relationship with me. I'm a totally different person outside of this. So you
Hey,
don't.
so well, at least that would at least you answered my question, because you know a lot of people who gonna, your fans especially, gonna wonder, you know, if you have that significant other, or and how would that interfere with your line of, you know, content creation, which I don't know because I'm not in that field, but would that really interfere with what your plan and your goal in 5 years?
No, my personal life is very blessed and very awesome. And so I have no issues there. I have no
Okay.
issues there. So it's just that it's funny because a lot of people come in and, oh, I want to see you. And of course, it's the, I want to fly you out. I want to do
Oh,
this and that.
yeah.
And then that's the part, that's another part I would tell a person that wants to get started in this. Please don't let somebody try to bully you into doing things that you really don't want to do or that you're not comfortable with.
Yeah, especially flying out somewhere that you ain't used to flying out to. If you don't know them, don't fly. Me personally, even as a grown man, a former soldier, you know, a veteran, I'm not flying out to meet somebody who I don't know.
Me neither.
That's just 101.
Me neither.
You
Like
want to
I,
fly, come to my city, and I'll meet you somewhere where I know in my city. You know what
oh,
I'm
they do
saying?
that. They do that all the time. They, you know, I get messages like, "Oh, hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing?" Because I'm friendly. Hey, how you doing? Da, da. Oh, you know, well, I'm gonna be in your city and enjoy your trip because you're not coming because you're not
Hey,
coming for me.
what
We
you
didn't
say?
make any plans.
I'm a be in your city and enjoy.
And enjoy yourself because I'm not a pit stop, and
We're not doing
it's
that.
not that.
What I look like, QT? God damn it! I
Exactly.
ain't the fucking QT or the damn 7-Eleven. Shit.
Enjoy yourself.
Exactly. It's a lot to do on the West Coast or the East or the South.
Yeah,
All right.
find yourself something to do. But me and you didn't plan to come here to see me, and I didn't make any. I didn't. That's the part that with most content creators, there
Mm-hmm.
are some women who do this and don't have a life.
Yeah.
I have a very full life.
Mm.
So dropping just whatever, you know, some women are like that, I guess, or men or whoever, where
Yeah.
you, ooh, that excites them. You
Yeah.
hollering that you're going to fly me out does not excite me. I have plenty of flyer miles. I can go wherever I
Yeah.
want to go.
Exactly.
I don't
You
have no
know,
problem.
somebody who's already financially stable and things of that nature, I tell my audience and just people in general, you can do for yourself. You don't need, you know, I was talking to somebody the other day. It was in a public forum, and this lady was just, oh, I need me a husband to show me how to do this. And I said, why don't you learn how to do that yourself? It just wouldn't make it just be better if you knew how to do it.
Yeah,
If I showed you how to fish, then you don't have to ask me for no more food. You know, but if
right.
you have to keep asking me how to fish, can you get, you know, but some people have that mind frame and that mentality, like, I need somebody to do it for me. Oh, this excites me. Get your money, get your bread up, and fly yourself out. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
and there's nothing wrong with that. Like for me, I'm a person that's very in a relationship, I'm very submissive. I am everything and anything that man wants me to be.
Mm-hmm.
However, I can do for myself.
Yeah.
And
So,
there's nothing wrong with both. There's nothing wrong with both, but I just think that constantly putting things on a man all the time,
mm-hmm.
like that, like constantly just throwing your whole existence on a man, after a while that'll get boring because then you don't have anything going for yourself. You gotta know who you are first, because 10 to 1, whatever you are yourself, that's what the man is attracted to.
Exactly. So, as we wrap up, I really wanted to ask you, with everything that you got going on from your 9 to 5 job, and I hate saying 9 to 5, but your career that you have, and then your content creation profession, how do you stay balanced and focused and not overwhelmed? You know, it's some recommendation you can give us.
Always take time to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's the real routine. You could be into your everyday job and you can be into your content creating, but both of those are parts of you, but they're not you. You
Mm.
always got to, like, as my dad would always say, always check in with your star player. Don't ever
Mm.
sit there and just be all content creator, all go, all, you know, all gas, no breaks, all gas, no breaks. Just in your, be that across the board. Be all gas, no breaks with your meditation. Be all gas, no breaks with your reading. Be all gas,
Mm.
no breaks with being with your family. Whatever, you know, gets you, like if you're a gym person, but
Mm-hmm.
you have another type of job, don't give up the gym to be number one in career. All of it is cohesive.
Okay.
So taking
Take
care
time.
of you is always first.
I love that. I love that. So yeah, take care of you, because nowadays, like I say, mental health is crazy, and us. But I gave you kudos because the line of content creation you're in, people might not think that you ain't helping nobody out, this is that and that, but you actually are. And we spoke about that before we came on, that you actually helping people out, not go do some craziness because they're here, watching your content.
I've had conversations with a lot of my fans where it has turned into therapy after it's over. Like, I've had guys talk to me about dealing with their autistic children. I have guys that talk to me about being in the military and dealing with PTSD. I have guys that talk to me about the issues they have with their wives. Like, on Snapchat, I talk to a lot of different men, and on a daily basis, we all check in. Like, how are you doing? How are things going? Are you getting that done? And this and that. It's not just content creating with some of my followers.
I like that.
And
that's dope.
It's easier.
Because some people just want to talk and be heard.
And that's all it is.
Yeah. So you provide an all-around service, which is good, because you're helping people from doing something crazy because they just want to be talking. They're not bottling up all this stuff, because eventually bottling it up, you end up popping, things of that nature.
It's the same thing as talking to a therapist, just with your boobs out.
And you know what? I can tell you one thing. I do regular solo podcast where I just talk, on here. And and I'm not afraid to say, I had my therapist, and I talked to. I didn't feel like talking to him this week because I was like, I went and talked to my podcast first, and I was fine. I was like, because I was like, I don't feel like repeating everything I just said on my podcast to you right now, just for you to nod your head. Good. Yeah, I like
that's
that.
Interesting.
Yeah. Like, you know what? I don't need that. I'll deal with you next week. But yeah, that's what's up. But for I don't judge anybody. I love what you do as far as the content creation, and that's your line of work. Just like I'm trying to get into the whole content creation space, but on the podcast side, and you have given me some good advice. And don't beat me up. I haven't subscribed to you.
And it's okay.
I don't beat me up, but I do follow your Twitter, and I laugh at the stuff you say, especially when it comes to the movie recaps.
Yes.
The WWE recaps, and just things of that nature. I actually found out movies to watch from you. It was one movie you sent the other day, and I was like, yeah, I probably shouldn't have watched that. It was a scary movie or something. No, it was the movie where the chick was on that tower. Her and the chick was on that tower, and she hallucinated the whole movie and found out her husband was old. I was like, why did she? But you did say, don't watch this crappy ass movie.
I did say.
And my dumb ass was like, let me check it out.
Let me see if she really means that. Yeah, I meant it.
Yeah. So that was too funny. That was too funny. But yeah, other than that, I appreciate you coming by, Miss Starr.
Thank you for having me.
And is it anything else you want to say to your fans and my fans that we didn't cover, through this whole interview?
I just hope that, everyone all around is just really just finding who they are on the inside and just really being at peace with yourself. That is my number one thing, because it starts with you. It starts with you. And so, and to my fans, I love y'all. And I'll be seeing y'all later. And we're talking about different stuff. And, Sami Zayn for champion. All right.
Hey, so we're gonna get up out of here. Just stand fast after we're done, and then we'll get up out of here.